The Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach Caleb Ross. Brought to you by Gibson's Tire Pros, Dreyer Physical Therapy, your hometown Allstate agent Lynn Norris, CBE, and Showtime Graphics.
Hello, Lion Nation, and welcome into Week 9 of the Prattville Lions Football Review as we look back on the Prattville Lions' 49-21 thumping of the Smith Station Panthers. I'm Will Barrett, along with head coach Caleb Ross. Looking back on the week that was, Coach, a great win, a great way to polish off region play for these Prattville Lions.
Yeah, anytime we say this every week when we get a win, but anytime you get a Region 2 win, I mean, it's a successful night. Smith Station was not the best team and had not had a great year, but they played hard all year, and we knew that they were going to come in. They weren't going to lay down. They were going to come in and give great effort, and I thought they had a great game plan. They come in and made the game for a little bit, scored two quick early touchdowns, and made us have to go earn it for a little bit. Then we finally pulled away as the game went on. But I was really curious to see how our kids are going to respond after last week's emotional loss to Auburn. For the most part, man, we had a good week. The energy was good. It wasn't like because you was worried sometimes. Does one loss lead to two? We talked to that earlier in the year. Does the hangover of a loss, man, does it reflect the next week? I was concerned, but I don't think that was the case. I thought we did a lot of good stuff Friday night. There's some things that we got to get cleaned up. I mean, we do. I think still we're penalties at crucial times on the offensive line. We're not, sometimes it hurt us. There's times in that first quarter when we gave up some pressures, man, when online that I was disappointed in. But I'll say this, I think our line responded really well. We had a good second quarter and really played pretty good up front on the offensive line. So did some good stuff there. Defensively, probably not. I mean, I didn't think it was one of our best nights. We gave up the two long passes, but I didn't think we tackled really, really well. But I say this, when we dialed in and said we needed to stop, we did. So it's just kind of a roller coaster night, but it is a region win and something that we're such a perfectionist sometimes as a coach, and I know our coaches feel the same way, that we got to also appreciate sometimes these are 16, 17, 18-year-old kids, and man, we got to win, and you got to win against a quality opponent in Region 2. We need to celebrate that, and them not understanding the expectation level is just still going to take some time. It really is, but I was. Overall, it was a good night. Did a lot of good stuff. Always room for improvement. Ton of room for improvement. But another thing too, we got to play a lot of guys. Yep. We got up and got to play some second team guys, some third team guys. Even got a few freshmen in. This past week we brought a good bit of freshmen up from the freshman football team. Let them dress with the varsity. And man, I tell you, there's some like last year's group. There's some really talented kids about to come through the football program, and some of them got to showcase that Friday night. So, hey, it was a win. A lot of stuff to improve on, but we got to win and we get to move forward.
Absolutely. 49-14 over Smith Station Friday night in the jungle, and a night that was supposed to be a monsoon, and where a lot of coaches opted to move their games to Thursday, but you saw through all that.
Yeah, well, it was a lucky guess what it was. But, the one thing we saw, though, one thing we did see is, I'm watching the weather all week, and it was a great rain chance, but I didn't see any severe weather threat. It wasn't like there was tornadoes coming through. And for us, moving that game, if we'd have moved it Thursday, it was going to put a lot of work of trying to get adjusted with officials. And there's just a lot goes into a Friday night. We've talked about it before. From you got officials, you got video crew, you got radio crew, you've got chain crew, quarterback club, and parking and gate workers. There's so much that you've got to get organized and moved. A lot of stuff that's already pre-planned back in the summertime, pre-game meals to bus trips and getting buses, and those things just take a lot of work that we do in the summertime because of that. You don't want to have to be bogged down when you're trying to go prepare for the week. So all that was going to have to get done, and knowing that the time to get it done, and knowing that there was no severe weather threat. So hey, if we played in some rain, we played in some rain, but hey, Mother Nature worked out for the best. It didn't. I think I felt a little bit of sprinkle pregame, and that was about it. So we ended up having a pretty good night. It was about 70 degrees. It was pleasant. Ended up being a good night of football.
It would have been a good night to be in the jungle. And thanks for everybody that did come out to make that game in person. Let's take a look at some of those first half highlights of Prattville's 49-21 win over the Smith Station Panthers.
Prattville sending a blitz. Minton popped up in there, and this ball is intercepted at the 20 and brought down to the 17-yard line. Here comes Roy in motion. Now he halts and give this to Powell. Cross that right side, across the middle, up to the 5. Powell first and goal to the 4-yard line. Just underway here, 11 minutes to play in the opening quarter. And to give this to Powell, and Powell goes in the end zone through some traffic. Touchdown, Prattville. Kramer drops the pass, play action.
Kendrick.
Looks deep. Kendrick is wide open down there. And Kendrick makes the catch at the 10, and he walks in the end zone. Touchdown. For 3rd and 18 for the Lions at the 48. Kramer looks downfield, steps out of some pressure.
He's got Thompson.
Plenty of space looking for Thompson down there, and he's got Thompson at the 20. Thompson down to the Smith Station 15. Causey on the near, Rogers on the far. And here's a give to Powell at the middle. Powell has his first down and more. He goes in the end zone, bouncing off tacklers. Touchdown, Prattville. High snap, pulled down by the punter, and it is blocked. It is rolling around the 4-yard line. Sutton Hayes picks it up, is going to try to run with it, and he's not going to get very far at the 15-yard line. 2nd and 11 for the Lions here. Kramer to pass, looking, and now firing it in zone again. Same play to Thompson, and this time Thompson pulls it down again for the score. Low snap, Blackman picks it up, not to run with it. Giving pursuit is Ian Jackson. Ian Jackson makes the catch and catches him down there, wrestles it down to the 18-yard line. Clock moving, hands it off with some room. It's Kidd who's going to go untouched into the end zone. No flags. Touchdown, Prattville. The Lions come after the punt, and they block it again. Second block of the night is rolling around on the 10-yard line. Picked up.
Touchdown.
Into the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Spencer Roy. Working from the near hatch. Josh back and now throws down the field. This ball's nearly intercepted. Oh, Javon Furlow nearly had that pick with just barely. Rogers fields it at the 35-yard line. 45-50. Rogers with a little bit of room. Rogers 40, 35, 30. Beats the punter 20, 15, and out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Across the middle, he's got a man in the end zone wide open for the touchdown. Collins takes a snap, wants to pass. Under some pressure, he's going to take a sack back at the 20-yard line. Big time sack back at the 20, brings up a 4th and long. And he's just going to hand this one off up the middle.
That is Christian Walker out there on the edge.
You're correct. This time Deshaun Daniels makes a stop on Alexander, short of the original line of scrimmage. Matthew Turnbull in at quarterback now. He's going to hand it off to number 13, who was hit hard at the 48-yard line of Prattville after about a 7-yard pickup, but he is smoked at the 48.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Taylor.
Turnbull hit in the backfield and dropped for a big loss again.
By a host of Lions.
Yes.
With over 35 years of automotive experience, Gibson's Tire Pros has the answers.
Mo thinks we're having trouble with the curb. How should we fix that? Me and Mo are into the same girl. Who do you think she should pick? Do you guys think Mo's nose is too big?
Of all these questions, I feel like we should have been life coaches.
Nah, let's just stick to tires and automotive.
Yeah.
Gibson Tire Pros, we advise, you decide.
In our profession, we see a lot of remarkable recoveries. One thing that each success story has in common is the courage needed to take that first step. At Dreyer Physical Therapy Institute, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get the expert opinion you need, so we've made that first step free. Sign up for a complimentary screen at any Dreyer location today, and we'll assess your condition and recommend the best next steps to get you back on the road to recovery. Call or click today to schedule your complimentary screen. DreyerPT.com/screen.
I'm a teenage girl. My BFF Becky texts and says she's kissed Johnny. Well, that's a problem because I like Johnny. Now I'm emotionally compromised and whoopsies. I'm all, OMG, Becky's not even hot. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Welcome back to the Prattville Lions Football Review. Coach Ross, it's time for our favorite segment, Inside the Lions Cage, and this time we've got a special member of our senior class, wide receiver Isaiah Causey.
Yeah, another great kid. I mean, like I said, we select kids that obviously we care. I mean, that we really enjoy, and kids I think do a good job for this. But man, he's another great story. Obviously, I think Montgomery Advertiser did a great article on him earlier in the year, and he's a kid that you want in your program, man. He's a worker. He's a great player. He's a great human being, and I'm glad fan base gets to see who he is a little bit.
You will. He's had a lot of personality in the Lions Cage. We enjoyed getting to have a little conversation with him. Let's go inside the Lions Cage now with number 81, Isaiah Causey.
Looking downfield now, firing this one complete at the 40, 45. Causey on his feet to the 48-yard line.
Isaiah Causey, wide receiver, 2020. McDonald's.
Go-to order.
Probably the buttermilk crispy with 10-count nuggets.
Dang.
Large fries and a large drink with a mocha frappe.
Well done. Wow.
Avengers Endgame. 1.5. There's two. I have two. One is it's called Wavy by this person named SZA, and then the other one is called Ice Me Out. All right, Robert Downey Jr.
What's your favorite movie that Robert Downey Jr. was in?
Avengers, and just the whole series. Coach Sherzog. Probably. Who's the raccoon?
Rocket.
Rocket. Pineapple. Probably when I was dating Miss Lucky, because she was just comfortable to talk to, and she would help me with problems and stuff. Julio Jones. Will McQuiston. We used to do that too in junior high. He always beat me though, but
He would be the genius Lanny Puffa.
Well, would you be good guys or bad guys?
Good guys.
All right.
First name Coach Ross.
All right.
What did he say? He'll say, oh yeah, whenever everyone's doing something wrong or something, he'll be like, what are we doing, guys? My deepest fear? Spiders.
Good answer.
I can't stand
They
them.
be crawling on you and stuff in the night. They say in your lifetime.
No,
you eat 8 spiders.
It started when I was young. I was young in the family. We went to Universal Studios, and they showed a 4D movie we went and watched a 4D movie of Shrek. And it was one part when they had made a cotton candy roll out of spider webs, and Donkey sneezed in it. And when he sneezed, they said I lost it.
And since then, chronic fear of spiders. I can deal with that. I can get down with that. Absolutely.
Would lead a whole lot by his actions. Wasn't really that vocal, but if you saw how he worked, you know he knew what he was doing and what he wanted to do. Hooray for Prattville, hooray for Prattville. Someone in the stands yelling hooray for Prattville. 1, 2, 3, 4, tell me who you're yelling for. Prattville, that's who.
Woo! There you go, man.
With over 35 years of automotive experience, Gibson's Tire Pros has the answers.
Mo thinks we're having trouble with the curb. How should we fix that? Me and Mo are into the same girl. Who do you think she should pick? Do you guys think Mo's nose is too big?
Of all these questions, I feel like we should have been life coaches.
Nah, let's just stick to tires and automotive.
Yeah.
Gibson Tire Pros, we advise, you decide.
In our profession, we see a lot of remarkable recoveries. One thing that each success story has in common is the courage needed to take that first step. At WR Physical Therapy Institute, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get the expert opinion you need, so we've made that first step free. Sign up for a complimentary screen at any Dreyer location today, and we'll assess your condition and recommend the best next steps to get you back on the road to recovery. Call or click today to schedule your complimentary screen. DreyerPT.com/screen.
I'm a teenage girl. My BFF Becky texts and says she's kissed Johnny. Well, that's a problem because I like Johnny. Now, I'm emotionally compromised and whoopsies. I'm all, OMG, Becky's not even hot. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Final segment here of the Private Lines Football Review. Will Barrett here with Coach Caleb Ross. Coach, a lot of great accomplishments last weekend. A lot of individuals on Friday night really shined. Among those, Taylor Thompson, our Buffalo Rock Pepsi Player of the Game.
He's had a couple of really good weeks. I thought he played well against Auburn. Mm-hmm. Had a couple of good big catches against Jeff Davis, but really played well the other night. Had 5 catches officially. Had a touchdown catch called back that was probably a questionable call there, but. I thought he played really well. I tell you this thing, we challenge him every week to be a complete player. I mean, he's got great ball skills. He runs great routes, got great hands, and he's physical and a good blocker when he wants to be. And we really challenged him. I thought he had his best night blocking of the night. He's really good with his feet. He just did some good stuff. And because everybody sees the catches, everybody sees the plays that he's making, the athlete that he is. But like I said, we want him to be a complete player, and he really did a good job blocking of the night. So. Very deserving of the award that he got. I thought Kendrick Rogers had another good night. We flirted with Kendrick inside some the other night just to see that, give us some different, packages, different things that we could do as we make this playoff run. So, we did that the other night, and he really excelled. And he's played some inside receiver before in his career, so it wasn't like it was totally new to him. I thought that was a highlight. It was good to see Isaiah had a couple nice catches Friday night.
Sure did.
So, he needed that confidence. I thought the running backs both ran well. Jaden Kidd had a nice run for a touchdown, and Keandre, man, just gonna be Keandre. He thrives off of 5 and 6 yards a carry, man, and I love him for that. Man, that's fantastic. Like I said, I thought our O-line up front, besides giving up some early pressures and really 2 4th and 1 calls, but only when you look at it Friday night, you think, well, man, O-line, man, we had a chance to get 2 4th and 1s and we didn't get it. Probably bad calls by me as a head coach, but really we put them in a bad situation on one of the play calls, and the other one, they just got us outnumbered. They got more guys in the box than we can block. The guy kind of shot through and made a play. So I thought O-line played well. Man, I thought they played really well. Defensively, it's one of those things like our nose guard, Broderius, probably only had 3 tackles, and he's had some 8-9 tackle games this year, but he affected the game so much. His presence, man, he really put pressure on that center, or he drove the center back into the backfield. So there's times when they're trying to pull guards, and they can't get the backside guard through because Broderius has driven the center 2 and 3 yards back. So he had a good night. I thought we had great pressure from the edge. Obviously, Ian Jackson, AP Coleman had a really good night at outside linebacker. Mason he didn't have the 22 tackle night as last week, but he still was a 10 tackle guy and had a very solid night. So, man, I thought individually did some really good stuff. 2 block punts. Man, that's man, Javon Furlow, 2nd block punt of the year. He's a junior. He's a kid that I do truly believe next year you're going to hear his name a lot. He's coming on at safety, and man, he seems the guy that just makes plays. We kind of joke with him about that, and all he does is make plays, but he does. he's had a couple picks in some JV games and things like that. So really excited about the future with him. He had a block kick the other night. Then A.J. Vaughn, a kid that just started playing football this year for us, and he got a block punt the other night, and Spencer Roy ended up scooping and scored. So Colin Rogers, another good night, special teams. I think he kicked 5 out of 6 or maybe 5 out of 7. One was a chip shot onside that it didn't work, but we thought we saw something on tape there that we could take advantage of. So we wanted to give it a shot, and it didn't work. But hey, you gotta go for those things every now and then. So, but anyway, I thought it was a good night. Like I said, there's things that we've got to get fixed if we want to be successful in the playoffs. We know that, the kids know that, but I do think there's some guys playing some really good football right now too.
Great opportunity as you close the book on Smiths and open it up toward the final game of the regular season against Lanier. This is a chance to sweep the Montgomery schools for the second year in a row, something that hadn't been done for quite a while. Yeah,
and you got, I'll be honest, just starting to really get into Lanier and see who they're about. Man, I know this. Coach Cunningham, got a lot of respect for what he does. I mean, I think they're sitting at 4-4 or 3-3 or 3-4. They're athletic. They always are. Mm-hmm. He does a good job with them, and they're one of those teams that, they're good enough to beat anybody. Not just us. They're good enough to beat anybody on a given night when they're playing good football. So we're gonna have to. Here's the thing: we need to go play good football, and it didn't matter if we're playing Lanier, if we're playing Central, whoever. As you go into these playoffs, your kids need to be playing with confidence. You want to be playing really good football. You want to be playing at your best. So that's going to be the goal this Friday. It's truly going to be about us. We'll have a good game plan to get prepared for what they do and their personnel. But as we head in, this thing's going to be about us, man. Are we going to play to the standard that we have created, that we expect to play? So that's the challenge I'm going to have to our boys. Lanier's, and just understand, Lanier's going to be a good football team. I mean, they're going to come in, and last year's game went down to the wire. It took a goal line stand at the very end. And I thought Lanier had a similar team to last year's, man. They were very athletic. We're in that 4-4, 5-3 range, and if you didn't play well, they were going to beat you. If you played well, maybe you probably should come out on top. But and probably very similar this Friday. So, we'll have our hands full. We got to have a good week.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. And this is the last chance of the season, likely, for you to get a look at the Prattville Lions football team in Stanley Jensen Stadium. We hit the road next week to the playoffs. You win the first round, you're on the road the second week. And if you win the second week, you could potentially host a semifinal game at Stanley Jensen, but that's not even guaranteed. So this is the last guaranteed chance that fans are going to get to come to Stanley Jensen and will see this football team. And these kids deserve it.
That's right. And another thing is senior night. So we'll be honoring our seniors, and you honor your senior football players, your managers, your trainers, your cheerleaders. Man, and that's what I'm saying. This is what Prattville's about, man. Our community coming out and supporting these kids. It's about these kids, and man, it's what a great group. Look what this group's accomplished. Even just in the short time since we've been here as head coach. Man, they've really taken. Last year's group was the foundation. This group has taken it to a new level. So, really proud of them, man. Come out, like you said, it should be. I don't know the weather. Maybe it's too far out to even know, but. Man, it should be a good night, man. And go support your hometown football team and support this senior group because, man, they definitely deserve it.
Absolutely. If you hadn't been to a game yet in Stanley Jensen Stadium this year, shame on you. Make plans this Friday to come out to see the Lions finish the regular season against the Sid Lanier Poets, a long-time rivalry from across the river over Montgomery. It's going to be a great night. Coach Ross will be there doing his thing, leading us to another win, and we'll be bringing it to you from the press box. So. Thanks for listening to the Prattville Lions Football Review. This has been Week 9 in the books, a 49-21 victory over the Smith Station Panthers. And we'll see you next week at the ball field while Prattville takes on Lanier. For Coach Ross, I'm Will Barrett saying good night. God bless. Go Lions.
The Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach Caleb Ross. Brought to you by Gibson's Tire Pros. Dreyer Physical Therapy. Your hometown Allstate agent Lynn Norris, CBE, and Showtime Graphics.